people, welcome back to another episode of Talks. I am Jedediah.
Me?
Either one of you, get this going.
Someone started going. I wasn't really looking at me to point out, so I was going to say, you know me, I'm Fabian, we're back again. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's had a phenomenal week and they enjoyed last week's podcast, of course.
Yes, sir.
Before we go anywhere further, before I introduce the knowledge, the Canes Meister, I just want to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and please comment.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you for that. Welcome, the smoothest voice. Yeah, you said like, comment.
Hold
subscribe.
on, Ethan just said the smoothest voice. Like,
Yeah,
you just have the
smoothest
smoothest
voice.
voice.
And I meant that. I meant that. Thank you for having me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. It's a wonderful time. Let's go.
Let's absolutely get it. It's been splendid. We've had a great day. I hope anybody who's watching has noticed we've moved things a little bit around. We put a poster up, trying to give the visuals for the people.
Yeah, the visuals.
Give the visuals, and hopefully that's a little bit more inspiration, motivation for anybody in the pod to also jump onto the YouTube to get the visuals as well. So, today's episode, we are going to be talking about what are some of the best things that have happened in our lives. I want to talk about things that have brought you real joy, that have let you feel a sense of accomplishment, a sense of fulfillment, and really inspire anybody listening and ourselves to go and chase those moments even more, to go get to that top level, to feel that feeling, because that's what life's all about.
Yeah.
Getting fulfillment, feeling the joy, feeling the energy. Like I'm feeling right now. How we feeling? Woo! Ooh!
Energize.
Yes,
Whoa.
sir.
Let's go.
So, I posed this question to the crew earlier. I've given them some time to think. And I'm going to put it out there to see if anybody would like to volunteer their story first. If not, I'll go first. But
I'm going to go first.
ooh!
I'll do my toe in the water.
Yeah.
So, the question. Let the people know what the question is.
What is one of the things that you have done or experienced in your life that has brought you endless amounts of joy, fulfillment, and pleasure, sir?
So, what I'm going to say is I'm going to talk about my university experience and the decision to go to university.
Nice.
My journey into university was a bit turbulent. I lost a very close friend in my final year, which made studying very difficult. And I ended up not going to the university that I wanted to go to. I ended up going to the same city, Manchester, money on the map, 0161.
0161.
Shout out to all of you man up north. Big love always. And
Hey, cousin, you watch it?
and I do not regret this decision one bit. This brought me so much joy in that I was able to go and study something I loved, that was chemistry. I was able to go in, day out, be surrounded by people that also love this subject and engage in interesting conversations, spend time grinding till midnight, getting up at 6 a.m, going to the library and reading and immersing myself in something that I loved doing. And this didn't transform into my career, but it gave me and equipped me with a lot of skills that are known as transferable skills. If you go to any careers fair, they'll talk about transferable skills. They'll talk about the ability to speak well, to present, to break things down. I also met a number of fantastic individuals. Shout out to Sam. He just came back from Australia, one of my best friends, and I lived with Sam for 3 years. And it may as well have been 4 because the first year that I was getting to know him, I was always visiting him, so I appreciate that. University was a fantastic experience for me because I had never lived, not with my parents. I was only 18 when I went to university, and I had never lived in a different city, in a different environment, in a different place. I am from London, as you may well know. I'm moving to Manchester, another city, but a smaller city with people that say stuff like, "Hey up, Chuck," and just talk about brews and gravy. It's a bit of a different environment. The buses are not red there, they're blue and white, and they're called the 142 instead of the 261. Shout out to all my nights crew. And it offered me a fantastic opportunity to step outside of my comfort zone, to reinvent and recreate myself, as so many people do when they go to university. To understand better who I was, what I enjoyed doing, what I didn't enjoy doing, to experience the full autonomy. I am entirely responsible for paying my own bills, for cooking my own food, for washing my own clothes. Not that I wasn't doing that at home, because my mama cooked me well. But to share that space with people that I had no idea. I moved into a house with two people that were in their mid-20s as an 18-year-old. I wanted to go out, I wanted to join the sports teams, I wanted to study, I wanted to have a good time. And I was in an environment where people were very mature. And this caused me to grow up very quickly. I had to be very accountable for everything that I was doing in the house because we share a space with people that want to create a lovely space for themselves. Whereas a lot of university students tend to go in and they go crazy. I went to some halls that were messes and I was like, oh, I know why I get to live in a home. I appreciate the space that I'm in. I'm going to make sure that I go and vacuum now. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the chores and doing the things that your mum was like, oh, you should do this, you should do that.
Yeah.
She was 100% right. Going back to it, stepping out of my comfort zone, it put me in a different space. I learned a lot. I wouldn't say immature, but there was a lot of maturing that is done at university. You meet a lot of people from different backgrounds with different experiences, and it gives you a new perspective on the world. You get some people that want to go traveling. You get some people that are so focused on what they're doing, they are in the zone, and those people go on to do the doctorates. You meet some people that you think, you're going to do this course, but you'll never pick this up. It'll never be the job that you want to be in the future. I was able to find myself and craft a new me in this experience. University was wonderful, and if you guys at home are thinking about it, do it. Don't do it just because you want to, but explore your options, explore what course can make you happy, explore which towns and cities. If you ever have the opportunity to visit, just do it. I spent, luckily enough, kind of about a month traveling to 4 different universities in 4 or 5 different cities, and it really opened my eyes to what's out there. Go on your own adventure.
Yeah.
I like that you said that, because I was actually going to ask you, what would you say is the biggest challenge when it comes to applying for uni and actually going into uni, and how do you go around actually choosing the right uni for you? And I think you saying it there, taking time out to go adventure out into those actual cities, seeing those unis, and it's not a case of like being there for 1 or 2 days, because it's not. You can't really make the judgment for the next 4 years. Okay, by just for 2 days.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect time for, I guess, actual time of the year for people that are leaving colleges and thinking about going to uni to maybe spend 4 days in that city. If you want to go to a uni in Liverpool, for instance, go maybe get an Airbnb for 2 or 3 nights. Go out on the town, see what the nightlife's like if that's what you want to do, or see what kind of libraries or what kind of gyms or what's really around there that you know you can enjoy for the 3 or 4 years. Because the uni might be great, but you might not be in love with the town. And I think what you just said there was beautiful and actually showing it. So, yeah, thanks.
Please remind me of the question that you.
So no, the question I was going to actually ask you was going to say, what are the biggest challenges you found when picking your uni?
So this was now 7 years ago, which blows my mind that I was even looking at 7 years ago. So, like you said, go and explore the city if possible. Universities also now do quite a lot of virtual tours, especially with COVID. So go and check them out. Go and check out the websites. There are hundreds and hundreds of people whose job it is to sell you the university. Call them up, ask about the experience, ask them to send you information, absorb as much as you can, and think about whether it fits what you want to do. You might want to go and visit the Peak District. So living in and around Yorkshire might be a fantastic idea, and there's plenty of universities to choose from. The other big challenge is choosing your course. Some people switch between courses in their first year, some people get to their third year and decide, I no longer want to do this.
Yeah.
All of those things are okay, but in an ideal world, you know exactly what you want to do. This obviously may or may not be realistic for you, but explore. Really, really explore and push yourself. If there is the most obscure thing at the most obscure university in the world that grabs you in a way that nothing else has, check it out. Understand what it could give you. Understand whether it maybe aligns with what you'd like to do in the future, even loosely, and shape your experience. In terms of the actual university application procedure, I don't even know where to start. There are experts out there, and hopefully an expert at your school, who will be able to give you some advice and look at your application and your UCAS form to set you on the right path.
Lovely. That's really lovely. Yeah. And for everyone that's watching, if you're planning to go on to a uni and actually find out what kind of uni you're going to, just take your time. Like you said, take your time, adventure out. It's a whole new stage in your life that you need to actually think about, not just rush into it, because decisions you make now can actually affect you later on in life. It's not just about big old party, but enjoy.
I have one more question for you before we move on to our first juicy question of the day, which is
questions with Jen. Whoa!
Which is, you spoke about transferable skills and potentially doing a degree that doesn't actually relate to what you might want to do in a career. I know that you're somebody who did that. What would you say is the mindset? You know, what is it about? You know, you have a passion for this thing, and that's why you're studying at university, right? And you've gone from learning a skill set and learning very specific information. A lot of people come out of university and they're like, I don't know if my degree really relates to what I want to do in life. I would, from outside looking in, and this is from my perspective, I don't know how your degree relates to then what you chose to do in a career. So, one, did you have any anxiety going, I know I want to do something different to what my degree is? How did you overcome that if you did? And what skills did you need to transfer from what you studied to then what became your current career path?
That is a great question. And just for a bit of context, I studied chemistry all the way up to master's level, and now I work in technology risk. Very different fields, and talking about transferable skills. The first thing, and I learned this lesson when I was very young. My mum went to university when I was about 3 years old. The first lesson that I'm going to give is, when you go to university, you don't just learn the topic. You don't just learn chemistry and analytical chemistry and all the subsections of it. When you go to university, you should be looking to learn how to learn. You have some of the most academic people in the world that are incredibly well read. The thing that makes them the best, and then the skill that they should be able to transfer to you, is how to study. The different ways in which you can study and the different ways in which you can improve your skill set via learning. So the first thing, learn how to learn. If you have a moment, there's a great course on Coursera which is completely free, which tells you different ways to learn how to learn. I would advise for anyone, even if you think you're the greatest learner of all time, just spend 10 minutes flicking through it. You can watch it at 2 times speed and you will gain something from it. I can almost guarantee it, and if not, at me, straight up at me, I'm ready for it. The next thing was, you talked about if I had any anxieties and how I basically kind of put my case forward as that I don't work in technology risk, I don't work primarily in technology, but I can do this job.
Yes.
So it's about reframing. Chemistry requires a particular set of skills. Every degree requires a particular set of skills in which you can reframe your skill set to match the job. Yeah. So for example, technology risk, it requires me to go in and analyze a space, a set of controls in which an organization protects themselves. In chemistry, we go into a space and we look at these steps that you can take to, for example, create a chemical, or to determine the composition of a chemical or identify it. Each of those processes require clear steps to have what we call a positive outcome, to either discover or create. That's the analytical side. Communication skills. As a chemist, you have to present your findings in a good way. I need to be able to speak to a professor and have them understand me, but I also need to have someone coming off the street and say, I don't know a thing about chemistry. Can you explain to me what this does, why it does it, and why I'm interested in it? Because ultimately, for me, and there might be a lot of skeptics around this, but chemistry exists to progress the world. And technology risk also exists to progress the world by safeguarding data, safeguarding assets. How can we do that? By presenting this information to people, making it easy and digestible for them to understand. So those 2 key things: analytical skills, presentation skills, time management. If you have 5 days to complete a project, I have 5 days to complete an experiment. What are the steps I need to take in order to get the job done? If I can do that in chemistry, I can do that anywhere. Not just technology risk. I can do that in business. I can do that in this pod.
Yes, sir.
I can do that in life. I like that. Thank you. Believe in yourself. Believe in your source. Believe you can be like Jen and Fabian, the kings. And do it. Be creative. And if you can't be creative, go and speak to someone. Say, this is what I can do. Can you help me transfer this? Can you help me get this job? People around you will support you. If it's not your friends, it will be your university counsellor, your school counsellor. There will be someone that is willing to put the the effort in for you, believe in yourself and believe in others.
That's really good advice.
Key nugget that he said there, people. I don't think anyone actually heard it, but he said, teach yourself. No, you said learn to learn. Like, I think people need to understand how deep he's talking about. Learn to learn. You learn how to drive, but you need to learn to drive. Like, there's a difference. You might know how to change gear 1 to 4 to 5, but it's like, for instance, one of our friends not too long ago, he had a near miss in the car where he had to pull the handbrake because the brakes don't work. The brakes aren't working. Now, when you learn to drive, like when you go through the test, it says, how do you slow down the car without using your brake? You go down a gear. And obviously that creates the car to slow down. And it's that whole point in there. It's like, you can learn the basics of something, but you need to teach yourself how to actually learn this to craft it. And I think that was beautiful what you said there.
Yeah, thank you.
Really powerful.
Wait, Jay, man.
Oh my
I'm trying to hear this question, bruh.
Oh my God.
What's his question, bruh?
Now, it's funny. This question comes from something that popped up earlier this morning. Me and Ethan were just chilling. I think we were having lunch, and the question came up: would you rather fly or teleport? Right? And that was the question. But I wanted to advance that scope. I wanted to take it further than just that. Do you see what I'm saying? On this podcast, we never take it 1%, 5%, 10%. We take it all the way to the top, to the top. So when I ask the questions, I try to take it to the extreme. Okay. So instead of just would you rather flight or teleportation, it is of all the superpowers in the world that you've ever read about, seen, heard, understood, thought up in your own brain space, of all of them, which one would you like to have? Of all the superheroes, so, you think of Superman's ability to laser eyes. You think of Wonder Woman's ability to fly. I've named 2 DC heroes. I don't like that because I'm a Marvel guy, not a DC guy. I'm embarrassing myself right now. Spider-Man.
DC, shout out.
Yeah, sponsor us. Of all the superpowers in the world, which one would you like to have?
I'm going to go straight and say teleport, I'm not going to lie.
Ooh!
So, I remember I used to say fly. I knew it was like superpowers, like all the super strength or to live forever. But there's a film called Jumper, if anyone's seen it.
Yeah.
And that film created that narrative for me to say, no, I want to teleport. Because it's the whole point of like, he's in his hotel in New York City and he's leaving and the concierge goes to him, I don't think it's going to rain, sir. And he said, oh yeah, I'll just take it just in case. But then he teleports to London.
Yeah.
It's raining in London. So he needed the umbrella. And it's that whole thing. Could you imagine, people, if you could teleport anywhere you want to go at any moment in time? Yeah. It's like we're all sitting there now. If we could teleport, I'm going to Sydney quick. Or teleport, we're going to LA. Teleport, we're going to Jersey. Yeah. Like, it's that whole thing. It's like, you know what, I fancy a croissant. I'm going straight to Paris. Yeah. I'm going to go to France. I want to go to South France, get the fresh one straight out of the oven. For me, it's not a superpower. For me, that's just like living to the fullest extreme of you could ever do. Because you could be wherever you wanted to at any moment in time.
I like that.
So yeah.
I like that a lot.
Teleportation, bro.
Teleportation.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll go. You know what? I'll jump in.
Yeah.
I am going to combine a couple of worlds.
Ooh.
I like the kind of Scarlet Witch energy, but I'm also a big fan of Harry Potter.
Okay, we've got a wizard in our midst.
What I'm going to say is that I can
a wand.
create anything using my wand, but that wand I can conjure and disappear at goodwill. So no one can take it away from me, because I'm not trying to have the Elder Wand thing. I'm not trying to pass through. I can just flick my wrist, just look at the flick of the wrist, and it's there. Yeah. If my wrist disappears, I have a contingency plan. I just a little bit of elbow, or in between my toes, this wand will be stuck to me in some way. Yeah. I want to be able to just flick the wrist and conjure up a new world, create a new environment. It might be a bit over the top. Some of you are saying, "Oh, you sound like Superman." Yeah. The worst superhero, by the way. Yeah.
I would shots, you know.
I would love to just
comment. Superman, the worst superhero in the world.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact of life. Wow. Just like Fabian would like to appear and grab a croissant, I'd like to flick my wrist and the cake is there. Yeah. I would like to flick my wrist and fireworks come out the end of the wand. I would like to create a world in which I envision this world could be. I would like to live the utmost life and opulence sometimes, but also then flick and there's a mountain, waterfalls, serenity, peacefulness.
He wants the one of Jesus.
Ooh, you're the conjurer. You're the conjurer. I like that a lot. For me, and this always goes back to what Stan Lee said, because Stan Lee was the visionary. Stan Lee is one of the godfathers, the originators of the original superhero. Stan Lee and a man called, I can't remember his name now. I want to say Frank Kirby, and I think that's it. All my comic aficionados, if I got it wrong, please forgive me. I know it's Kirby. So they invented Spider-Man, Black Panther, all these characters now who are synonymous with superheroes and with capes. And when asked Stan Lee what would his superpower be, he said, I would like the superpower of good luck. And I'm backing that one as well. I would like the superpower of good luck. So let's say I'm running late for a plane. And I'm like, damn, I hope I don't miss it. Well, I'm lucky enough that it had to stay for another 5 minutes. Oh, when I get to the gate, and because I'm the last person there, they're about to close the doors, they've got a first class seat left. I get bumped up for no reason whatsoever, other than because I'm lucky. When I'm not sure how much money I've got left in my account, but I need something just to buy some food or whatever. Lucky enough, I've got an extra £5 in my account to buy whatever I need. It's always just having that extra bit of luck that gets me whatever else I need, anything else. I need to make a play on the football field. Hey, my luck's in. I just made an interception. So I would love to have good luck in every situation I'm ever in. So, I just make these things happen.
See, that's an interesting one in comparison to myself and Fabian. Myself and Fabian's are very out there. It's very visible. If Fabian teleports from one place to another and he appears somewhere, someone's going to notice it. If I'm conjuring up things left, right and centre, the whole world's going to notice it. The military might come and grab us. Whereas Jeswan is very inconspicuous. He's just that lucky guy. It's just almost passing. You might not even know that he's a superhero unless he tells you. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Stan Lee for that one, for inspiring me. One of the biggest inspirations in my life. So we've had our first question. Now, Fabian.
Oh, is it my turn?
I think it's your time to tell us one of the greatest.
You know what it is? I always start coughing every time I don't cough no other time during the day. We go to shoot and I start coughing.
There must be something in this room.
I mean,
you know what's worse? Every single time he coughs, and every single time he forgets to get himself a drink. He forgets to pour himself a bottle of water.
But we go with me, people. So I think my one it's more of a moment for me. Like it was a moment of recognizing, you go through times when you think, wow, I've made it. I never thought I'd get this far. And for me, it was when I was working in the ticket agency. So I was working there I did about 6 years there. And the first 3 years, I did a lot of just face-to-face customer service, selling a lot of theatre tickets in most of the shops that the company owned. Into my third year, I more progressed into event management. So I used to basically run all the VIP guests and for all the events at the O2 Arena. Now, as I started to grow my clientele up, I started working with a lot more football teams. Now, we all know I was born and bred Arsenal.
Hey, Gunners!
Mum was born and bred Arsenal, so I fell in love with Arsenal. And at one point in time, I can't remember what show it was, but it must have been something like Drake or Kanye. It was something like could have been Pusha T, something crazy like that. Travis Scott probably. I can't remember exactly what the event was, but I do think it was Drake at the time. And what happened was I was told through I can't remember, all I was told that I need to get a box for one of the players. Now I'm not going to disclose what player it was, but it was someone that plays in the Arsenal team, doesn't play there anymore. And I was like, okay, but I'm business minded, so it's not, I really support this team. And I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever it is, what it is. And then I remember I went home, got changed, got in the car, driving to the O2, and I get a call saying, where are you? I said, oh, on my way. Okay, he's there with the rest of the guys. Can you make sure you go meet him? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Bit of traffic, but I'm almost about to park up the car. Not only did I not know who it was at first, but but that person called me.
What?
So this person's called me now. So you know, think like, because he's told me this is who it's for. Yeah. So I said, okay, cool. I then gone and answered. Then gone and said, okay, yeah, cool, that's wicked. So I've answered the phone, and he goes, yeah, mate, I'm here to meet you. Like, are you here? And I said, I'm literally walking in the building now. Give me 2 minutes, I'll see you. And it was that moment in life for me when I said, this is what it feels like to be cool. Because I've walked to the VIP desk, right? I've seen a couple of people take pictures. Now, I thought it was just the one guy. But I walk up to the desk, and I'm seeing 6 guys that play for Arsenal that I know. One's taking pictures there, one's with his missus, the other guys are just chatting away. And I'm just like, oh, then the one that knows who I am, I said, oh, yo, brother, I said, how you doing? I said, yeah, listen, I've got you guys tonight, whatever you need, just let me know. Yeah. And he goes, alright, we're just waiting for, then this is when he goes, we're just waiting for Wilshire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, okay. I'm like, alright, let me just get the tickets printed out, and then we'll head on up. And it was a moment where there's loads of people around, so now people know they're there, and like, oh my God. And like, kids are still trying to take pictures. And it's the point when I go, like, I never forget what I did it because I kept it so cool. I got the tickets, and I said, yo, boys, let's roll.
Hey!
So I got let's roll, and they've all got up, and they're all coming, so everyone's like, who the hell is that? But like, you know, for me, I'm like, this is Arsenal, like, I'm in, like, I'm dying for a picture of all of them, and I'm like, but it's so funny, like, I ended up working with them for the next, like, 2 years, like, getting them all kinds of tickets, getting them seen, let them see so much, and I never once asked any of them for a picture. And I brought so many of my friends, and always they ask for a picture. And I think, like, you know what, because for me, I always see them as my client. I don't see it as the fame and as everything, but for me, that moment there was from thinking, I left school into this job, not knowing where I'll be. And next thing I knew, the team that I support so much, I got to meet like 6 of them. To the point where they all knew my name, they knew if they needed anything, they came and got me. And it got to the point where I remember they wanted to go to another show, and they said, listen, we need you. Because at the end of the day, I built that relationship with the O2 Arena where they knew who I was. So any kind of problems, or if as long as I'm there, they didn't really care what was happening. So what happened was that they said, look, we've got a box, a different place, but we've got 2 tickets. Can you just come there and make sure everything's run smoothly, because we don't know how things run there. You know how it's no problem. And that was just another great night. So yeah, like for me, that was a very big like achievement. Not even an achievement. I think something I really took well, and I cherished that moment, because it wasn't a case of it was like, yeah, like I know the Arsenal. It was just a fact of like I got to take care of a team that I cherish so much. And I think not everyone, obviously, you don't get really that many opportunities to do things like that. And it was just great to actually meet people away from the scenes. Like, I think the media portrays so many people to do so much or to look like such a way. When you step back and actually see people like in their comfort zone and know they can be comfortable around you, it was, I just took that in a lot. So yeah, for me, that's what it was, bro.
See, the thing that stands out for me in that story is composure. Is your composure, in that, like, before anything, your purpose and your goal was in mind. Before anything else, it could have been anybody who you were given to take care of, and the person doesn't matter. Don't get me wrong; they matter to you inside. But what matters more than that is your purpose. What is my purpose, and why am I being asked to handle such an important thing? And that's so powerful, because you know who you are and you know what your skill set is, and you say, you know what, I can utilize this to get the best for everyone and be trusted. So what I was going to ask you is, what led you to have that level of composure, that no matter who was to walk in and no matter who you were to be introduced to, that you would stay calm, collected, and provide incredible service?
So I remember, actually, the event was J. Cole that they actually booked. Yeah, so amazing event. So I just, you know, it was like, it kicks back to when you spoke about before. Well, sorry, when I did a TNT this week, and I was talking about being composed first impressions, and obviously I was hyped to see these guys, right? I was hyped that it was all going to happen. And I remember driving there and getting told, listen, you're meeting blah blah blah, and I remember then him calling me, and I was like, what? Man called me, my phone. Like, could you imagine? Like, God, like, I remember I was so hyped. I come across after, man's got my man's number, you know. I got his number. Like, man's in my phone book, kidding. Yeah. He's like, calm down. I said, alright, cool. So I remember hanging up, and I remember it wasn't a case of like, about composure, but for me it was showtime. Yeah. Because I'm like, this is the first time these guys are gonna meet me. If I show myself today, they might only stay with me. They might see like, no, this guy's on job. Yeah. Where could you imagine, for instance, right, being an Arsenal fan, but you're there to do them a job, and the first thing I do is, can I get a picture with you? But hold on, I need to get you upstairs. Yeah. I need to get you to like, you're here to enjoy the event. Yeah. Like, I'm here to basically give you that service. Yeah. And I think for me, that's what was going through my head. And working so long at the O2, you walk past people. Whatever. I remember going down the where all the VIP boxes are, walking right past Stormzy. Like, I think this was just after he dropped what was his last album he did?
I remember Gang Signs and Prayer. I do not.
That one.
Okay, cool.
He just dropped that, right? And I remember I said, well done on the number one. I think it just hit number one in the charts. And he's like, I appreciate you, bro. I'm just like, mad. Yeah. I'm just box Stormzy. Like, points to where like there was times where I was in a box and then I had Captain Conan in the box next to me. And I remember I went to speak to him. I said, listen, if you ever need help down here, I'm always here. I know everyone here very well. Yeah. And they was like, yeah, we're cool. DJ got this for us this time. Okay. And I think that what it was is that it was a composure where I was there to enjoy myself, but I knew it was a business. So the whole composure side for me was the work side. It's for instance, like, when we work with the NFL teams, it's a whole nother light, but we still have to have that kind of composure. 100%. Like, you can't just go out there being the number one fan. No. And everything. It's like I said, I brought my friend for the first time around them, and he was like to me, can you ask me if I can have a picture? I said, bro, just chill out for a minute, please. Like, you're here with me. I'm here to work. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I might never see him again. I might never meet him. Like, you've got me around these people. And it was something like that when I realised, you know what, he's right. Because for me, I was just working and being around them. So, like, I knew I could see them maybe every other week or whatever when there's a big event on. I know they're trying to get that event. And for him, he's never going to see these guys not on a football field. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to see them walking down the street. You don't really see that. But right now, you're seeing them in their own element, relaxed. So, of course, he wants a picture. So, obviously, I asked one of them and said, yeah, one of the guys want a picture, and it was cool. And we got that done. But yeah, it's that whole composure. Like, I'm gonna say that this is another crazy story to go along with this, and I think it was one of the most funniest moments ever. And I said to my cousin, thank you so much. Like, thank you so much, because again, I had two of the Arsenal guys who went to come down. I think we went to see Justin Bieber or something, and I had a date. Ooh. Right? Yeah, I think I had a date at the time. Yeah. Right, and I brought my cousin along. Now, my cousin was just coming for the sake of it, because it was one of my top 10 dates. Ooh. Yeah, top 10 dates.
We'll talk about that after the pod.
Yeah. Yeah. So very, very good night for me. Yeah. Yeah. But I remember my cousin was there, and my date brought a friend with her. Okay. Yeah. Now my cousin wasn't interested. I'm not saying he was interested, but you be friendly, you just talk or whatever. Yeah. And I can't remember what happened. Like, there was mucking about, and I think he must have thrown like a bit of ice at her, right? Yeah. This friend from my date decided to pour a whole mojito over my cousin.
What? That's ridiculous.
That's rude.
In the VIP box, in front of the two footballers, and I know my cousin's a hothead, right? Yeah. So I've seen it. I grabbed him. I said, please. Please. The guys are there, right? And they've seen it. So to the point where they've seen it and walked away. Oh no. Because they don't want to be involved, because they know something could go off. Yeah. And he was like, just get me a cup of ice cold water now. I said, no, forget. Just forget. And I said, thank you so much, because he calmed down, but he was mad. But she knew that he was so mad where she left. Yeah. And left the date there, my date there. And I was like, yeah, insane. Proper insane, like, but that's the whole thing you said about composure. He realised where we was. Yeah. He realised who's around us. And it's that whole thing is like, you got to keep it a certain way when it's definitely business. Like, you can't, it's like, lose your cool in a surrounding where it's not okay to like really do anything around here. Like you can't do that. I'm not saying you should have done anything, just saying that it was that. And it goes back to saying like how I kept my composure. I think it's just a whole me as business time is business time, no matter who the client is. It's like, for instance, like we just launched the box crew.
Yeah.
If I got a message now saying, listen, Drake needs a box, I'll be gassed behind closed doors. But when I see him, I'm not going to say, look, I need a pic, or I'm going to post up on Instagram. I'm going to keep it hush. This is business now. Once it gets released, and people say, is that what you're on now? I'm like, well, it's just business. I don't know him yet like that. And I think that's just the way I think about it, and that's how it was.
I'm going to jump in as well. You did this job when you were like 17, right? You were very young.
Yeah, so I would have been probably about 2021 when I met them.
So your path was not to go to university. You went out and worked and explored the world.
Yeah.
And I think that is an incredibly viable option that few people really explore. So could you give the people just a few tips of how you found your success, how you came to find this job, any bits of advice that you'd give to people that don't want to go down the university path?
So, to be fair, like, I went from this job and trying to be a chef at the same time, but for me...
and trying to be a chef at the same time, you know. That's hard work right here.
Yeah, I'm not saying I got a chef scholarship to Westminster Kingsway, I'm not saying that at all. But, yeah, so for me what it was, my mum was working in the theatre industry for 10 plus years, and her boss at the time was like a father figure to me anyway. So I used to see him a lot. And I remember me and my friend, we was walking around looking for jobs, and he said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'll hand our CVs out. He said, well, you want a job? I said, well, yeah, I finished school in a couple months. He said, alright, when you finish, bring your grades and we'll talk.